with my ramblings of just life and what we go through on a daily basis, or even just a thought process that just pops in the mind. Yeah, I'm back to my straight hair now. No, two buns, trying to manage. Today I was just in the house working from home. Uh, we were told that there was a public holiday, then there was confusion and all that. Anyway, I thank God the work I do, I'm flexible to do it either at home or in the office. That aside, just random thought. And I believe it's in every country. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. And this is for entertainment purposes only. In all constitutions, all every country's constitution, there's always this clause of we keep on saying the rights of the people, and it seems like it's only allowed if it's favorable to some people, like rights to opinion, rights to expression. You know what I mean? Rights to, in some instances, religion and beliefs. But mostly like the right to expression and opinion. It is there in the constitution. Here in our country, it was in the first constitution, and then the revised constitution is still there. And yet, no matter how you try to express yourself, even if it's on social media and just giving your humble opinion or the way you look at a situation, and then you criticize maybe the government or public offices, and they hold it against you. They only want the praise. When did we divert from criticism and just saying that that's um, deformation or destroying someone's character? Yet, my opinion is my opinion, your opinion is your opinion. We are allowed to have opinions until maybe if it's something that I'm not knowledgeable. That's why I've said not all countries have it. Uh, Someone can come and say, not in our country, and I'll be like, okay, that's new. I've learned something today. But in the sense of giving an opinion, it's an issue to others. And the world has reached that point that in the current situation of different, uh, I would say war or, yeah, or disagreements. Hi and welcome. In case of any comment, I can, on the topic, I will. Hi, Bobo, welcome. Hi, Johanna Prado. Hi. And Roblox, hola. Yeah. So in spite of everything that goes out, if you see, let's say, like the issue that we had about the wars in Middle East, I'll not say wars, I'll just say attacks. Because if it was a war, we what was the cause of that war? Because other people are just being attacked and they're just going on with their daily lives, and suddenly there's missiles, there's explosions, there's building collapsing, children left destitute, parents also being left destitute, and yet the the people who are there didn't participate or have a disagreement with the different people who are retaliating. How about if, let's say, presidents have disagreements? Let them fight in the ring. Like the two presidents or the two people who have a disagreement, let them sort them out. Don't involve innocent bystanders and say that it's the whole country against that country, and yet it was because of your own selfish needs. I think What is a I'm talking about the world, the current situation in the world, and relating with issues that we are all going through differently. And case in point, I'm saying about opinions, having the right to have an opinion. Is it in your constitution? Um, the right to expression. And yet, when you express, you're told that it's unlawful or that is wrong. And yet, you have that right in your constitution as a person. Okay. My That's what the conflict I'm saying. Like, for example, perfect example that you've given us, Israel and Palestine. I'll say the presidents have, one says I have nuclear weapon, the other says you could not, you shouldn't have nuclear weapon, and that's a different country. And then you attack them, but you're not attacking the person who said about the nuclear weapons. You're attacking the people who are not even involved in the topic. I think it's misplaced. Um, yeah, people have, okay, we say there's collateral damage, and but innocent bystanders uh, get the more pain than the people who were involved. And that's why I was saying, if presidents have issues, let's say the president from Israel and the president from Palestine they didn't have an agreement, or because one needed power or one needed to take over their country, blah blah blah, and vice versa, they should be put in a ring and fight it off, like hand to hand combat, and leave the innocent citizens away from that conflict. Because if you ask me, and he is an unpopular idea or observation, when we go to school, um, that's why you say hate is taught, it's not inborn. When we go to school, we interact with people from different backgrounds, different cultures, and be it which school, is it the young school or the university level, when you go to class, we are all students. Until now, you hear maybe their surnames and all that, but we are all students. We are all trying to achieve to uh, do better in class so that we can do better in society. And you sometimes, when you have the group works and playtime, you click with whoever you click. You just don't go looking at the second name or the last name or the skin color or all those issues that are very minority, because we all have the same system, digestive system inside, if you remove the outlook of a person. And you click with who you're going to click with. And it's some even fall in love with people from different cultures and backgrounds, and they make it work and they live long happily, if happily is something that happens after. So, coming back now, when you have two countries who are neighboring, by the way, in case of a disaster, that's the first country that will come and help the other country because they see them in an issue. I'll say, like here in Kenya, uh, we had not long ago, our neighboring country, Somalia, was having a conflict of different clans and issues. And for some time, it was ungovernable, because they'll have even two presidents running at the same time, because one clan chose one president they wanted, and the other one chose a different one. And then we'll have, because of the constant conflicts, we'll have the refugees who came to Kenya. They were hosted, And then if the attacks were happening, they'll try to attack whoever was okay. It's a long conspiracy that I'll not go into it, but just generally looking at it. So when they fought and their people, the women and children were suffering, and they'll run away to get help, our country hosted, and still up to date, we still have those refugee camps. Some of them are running, some of them were dissolved. And after they were integrated into the society and they live as citizens here in Kenya. So I'm saying, like, if it's no, that's our neighboring country. Then we had the conflict in Sudan. So before it separated from South Sudan, before it separated from major Sudan, it was just one country called Sudan. Um, then it was cut into two. So the South Sudanese used to come to Kenya and they are here actually. We have them, we have studied with them. So that's why I'm saying, if your neighboring country have issues, you'd expect the neighboring country to help assist, help their people integrated into the society and forget, even if to help them forget about the trauma and change their life for a better life. That's how it's supposed to be, because even commonly, like in your household, your neighbor is the one who's going to help you in case of emergency. And that's why you say good neighbors are the best things you can have besides family. And sometimes family will stress you out, also neighbors will stress you out. But if you got a good neighbor, you not feel the emptiness of living away from home or away from your family. Yeah, that's how I look at that. Then I was thinking, um and onto the freedom of expression and freedom of speech, the freedom of speech and freedom of expression, the rights. Um, here in Kenya right now, there is a sad story we had of one teacher who was a teacher actually, and he was taken into custody, and then the day after, he was pronounced he has passed away just because he talked about something sensitive online. Actually, not something that is sensitive. It's about a particular official of maybe didn't, according to him, I'll say that, according to him, they were not doing the job they are assigned to do. And that's how actually we criticize everything. Like, let's say, for me, in my line of work, let's say architecture and designing, if I design a house that just looks like an egg, one thing people will question, why why did I design it like that? Second thing, did I not have any other inspiration? Thirdly, there are many questions that come with it. And it's in my line of work, it's acceptable because it's either the design you do is supposed to provoke thought process, and it's just like art exhibitions. You go to an art show, everyone interprets the painting in a different way, or the different emotions that invokes in them. The same thing with designing a house. If maybe the floor of the house I design it, it's not commonly used, people try to understand the thought process. Why did I change the form of design, or how the flow of design is supposed to go? And it's good. That's why we say good criticism is the one that really questions your thought process. So if in your line of work someone says you're not doing a good job, and clearly we can see you're not doing a good job, and then you get offended by that, instead of you to do the good job or ask how you can do the good job, a good job, you turn to threats and intimidation. Yeah, it's just like upside down priorities. It doesn't make sense. Are you? I love you. Thanks for the love. Hi and hi. You don't want my advice? Okay, scroll over. So insults. You think that we don't understand the insults? Anyway, that shows how immature you are. Yeah. Um. Other than that, I look back in history. We say most of history written and studied, known, it's been written by somebody. There's a As I was going to work, a cop, traffic officer was making light of his work and interacting with us. And then I was where I was seated. Um, I was among men, so he came and said he came to greet us. So one man was reaching out to greet him first, and he was like, no, 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 ladies first. And I was like, okay, gentlemen before. And then he was like, after what Eve did to Adam, now at back to the original story. Um, we need to give them priority because they're the ones who made us come down this line. And I was like, oh, the Bible and the transcript mostly was written by men. How sure are you it was not a man who wrote that Adam, who wrote that Eve ate the fruit first before Adam, and yet clear indication it's Adam who ate the apple. That's why you always have an Adam apple. And they all look at me like I said something weird. I'm like, how sure are we history was written opposite? And that's why we say history is written by the winners, and they can interpret whatever happened in their own perception. They will not think of, I need to put the how things happened. They'll think of, I think this one, you wash it down. Like history has been washed down to now a generation. If you go back, that's why we tell people, if you really want to know a story, go back, research about it, read different people's options and opinions and how they looked at whatever was happening back then. Don't just read one account and believe it because maybe they might be biased. So do your due diligence and look into it. Yeah. Other than that, no questions I've gotten today. I've said hi to everyone who said hi. I came in early, told you I was in the house, so decided, hey, why wait and start the rambles early so that I can sleep early, have an early morning. Yeah. Do you have rights? What kind of rights do you have? Does your constitution in your country have the right to expression and the right to opinion? And is it respected, or it's just in the constitution and then forgotten about it? Until next time, bye bye.